It's Winning Wednesday, and boy, do we have a treat for you today on this Winning Wednesday. Did you remember that we're doing something a little different today? Of course, we're going to talk about, make sure you guys can hear me. Oh, we good. Okay, so of course, we're going to talk about Otitis Media today. Yeah, we're going to get into that, but just for a short period of time, because today is the special broadcast. Do you remember? Today, we're doing the Travel Nurse Bootcamp as well. So this is a special Winning Wednesday where we are going to be talking about travel nursing. So many of my nurses who've experienced this, they absolutely love it. It was something that I loved doing. It got me to where I am right now, and we have an amazing partner company that has special opportunities for Remar nurses. So I'm really excited because of the partnership with Safe Nurse Now. Okay, with Safe Nurse Now, are we good? Let me know if we're okay. With Safe Nurse Now, our partnership, we are able to offer the Remar nurses the best jobs. The best job. So I don't bring companies before our community for just any little thing. Like there has to be something special about the company. I love Safe Nurse Now. They have over 50 years of experience. They really get it when it comes to putting the nurse first. So every position that we have is like, a nurse would like this. A nurse would be benefited from working here. A nurse could be totally flexible. And those are the things that were important to me. Safe Nurse Now also does something amazing in providing amazing housing if you're on a travel assignment, and also helping you with transportation. I mean, like, it's just a full service experience. It's a white glove experience. And you guys know I love my white glove experience. So tonight, for anyone who's interested in doing traveling, and I mean, if you are in the United States and you want to take one of our assignments in the US, this is for you. Okay. If you're LPN, this is for you. I just found out we even have CNA jobs. Like I didn't even know that today, but we definitely right now have CNA positions. So is traveling for you. If you're international nurse and you plan to come over and work in the US, stick around so we can talk about it. Okay. Stick around so we can talk about it. Also, if you want to go right now and get started and get signed up, see what jobs we have, super easy. Just go to remarnurse.com/jobs. And you're going to see that right now. Also, when I get into my presentation, you might be able to go directly to Safe Nurse Now. Okay. So right now, when we talk about travel assignments, this is what we are looking to pay nurses per week. This is what we're looking to pay nurses per week. So we have RN positions, we have L&D, we have psychiatric positions. So you may have a specific specialty that you are bringing to the table, whether you're a CNA and you have experience, or you're an LPN, or you're an RN. Everybody can do travel nursing. We just have to find the right position that is going to make you do yes. Make you say, absolutely, yes, I want to take it. That's my goal. Yes, L&D as well. So we're going to talk about Otitis Media. I want to get into that. Just a quick shift, I know, because I'm not going to stay on there long. We are live. This comes from Quick Facts, Otitis Media, and I believe it's page 64. Can somebody check with me if it's 64 in your book? Because sometimes I have a different version. It's 64 in my book, Otitis Media. So let's get our, try to go to Safe Nurse Now. Safe Nurse Now, okay? safenursenow.com. Because I know we were doing some things with our link. So Otitis Media, I'm reading all the comments. 64. So yes, this is on page 64. So we're going to talk about Otitis Media for just a few minutes, and then we're going to transition into Safe Nurse Now. Okay. And absolutely, Sylvie, we won't assign a job to anyone who is not prepared for it. So if you don't have the experience for the job, I'm not going to let you take it. I'm not going to give you a position that you're not going to be safe in. That's why the company is called safe nurse now, because we send out safe nurses and we also keep our nurses safe. So you guys know I'm always saying, are you a safe nurse? So right now we're talking about otitis media, and I want to know, if you're a safe nurse, tell me, what are the main symptoms of otitis media? And give me a symptom that a nurse would be able to assess. Because sometimes when I'm reading in my book about otitis media, they'll say, oh, you'll have redness on the eardrum, or the eardrum will be bulging. And that's good to know. But from a nurse perspective, we're typically not using tools to visualize the eardrum very well, right? So what is the first symptom? What's the very first symptom? I see it. I see it. I see it. Yes, it is otalgia. What is otalgia? Who can tell me what that is? We are going over otitis media, and I know that most of you are familiar with it to a base level. So I want to be able to pull you to the next step of your assessment. So yes, when we talk about otalgia, we see that it has a certain suffix on it that is going to tell you that there is pain. Okay, if you haven't seen this word before, know that this is ear pain. This is ear pain for patients. Now, when a patient has otalgia, is the otalgia worse with otitis media when they are lying down or when they are sitting up? When will we expect their pain assessment to be worse? When they are lying down or when they are sitting up? Let's say I'm looking for the safe nurses tonight. My goal is for every one of you to take a glance at the safe nurse jobs and see if they're for you or not. Absolutely. Keely has it. T-Rob has it. Oh, I got some regulars on tonight. And you know that pain is worse when you are lying down. When you are lying down, that is going to be the correct answer. It is just because you are putting more pressure on that ear, on that middle ear. So other symptoms that I saw you guys write down when we talk about otitis media, you hit the nail on the head because you said fever. You said loss of appetite. Patients are not going to want to eat. You said the head. Well, nobody said the head rolling, but the head rolling is something that I see in my children. When my son, he is known for getting ear infections. He'll come in and he'll be like this. He'll just do this. And for a while, I didn't know why he was doing that. He's a boy. So you know how boys are. When you're little, you're jumping around and you're just shaking your head back and forth. And I said, what's wrong with you, Michael? He said, oh, I don't feel like myself. I said, do you have a headache? He said, yeah, I have a headache. And so I'm like, okay, he has a headache. Don't really think nothing of it. And then I take him to the physician because he's still complaining. And he's just shaking his head like very this, that, and it's an ear infection. It's an ear infection. Other children will pull on their ears. Okay, pull on their ears. And so what is that doing? When they shake their head, that's doing something. When they pull their ear, that's doing something too. That's relieving the pressure that they're feeling. And so pediatric patients can't articulate the symptoms that they have. So if you're working in pediatrics, you're going to have to get so familiar with body language. I don't know how many people on here want to work in pediatrics, but God bless you, because I need a good history and I need a good physical assessment from my patients, and pediatric patients are just not going to give it to you. They're not going to be able to give you the medical history. So those of you who work in pediatrics with kids, God bless you for that extra layer of patience that you have sitting there trying to get a history from a 4-year-old. And sometimes if the parents don't know, then you're in trouble, because you want to know how many people are like me. You want to ask the patient, when did the symptoms start? And they can tell you 2 days ago. Where exactly does it hurt? You want your patient to be able to tell you exactly what's going on. No guesswork. So God bless you to everybody who is okay with the generalizations of the kids. All right. So we got fever, loss of appetite, shaking the head and pulling the penna. What about this, Remar nurses? What other condition is usually seen with otitis media? So typically in the emergency room, otitis media is the second pediatric condition, but is secondary to what? And what will a patient have along with otitis media usually? What is it? What do you guys say? What's this? Was my dream to work with peas, but I'm still thinking about it. Definitely. I think you can try it out and see if you like it. See if you like it, because nursing is one of those professions where you can move around. Honestly, you can move around. Okay, I'm looking for something very specific, but maybe I'm seeing some generalization, so I'll just go with it. So the correct answer is, oh yeah, you got it. It was upper respiratory tract infection. It was upper respiratory tract infection, and somebody said it, and I lost the comment. It was so fast. So yes, the patient will definitely come in with an upper respiratory tract infection, which predisposes them to otitis media. Otitis media, and we know that children get otitis media because their what is what. Because those eustachian tubes are shorter. Okay, so that's a quick overview of otitis media. Let me read this slide to you really quickly. This is otitis media is a middle ear infection that results in inflammation and fluid buildup in the eardrum. Now, we're not going to be able to see that right away, but we will see those other symptoms that you all mentioned. It's the second most common pediatric diagnosis in the ER. ER nurses stand up after upper respiratory tract infections. So good. I love this point, Lourdes. We are not sending babies to sleep with the bottle, because this also predisposes them to otitis media. So how do we treat it? We talked about the symptoms really quickly. Because there is pain, the doctor may prescribe acetaminophen or ibuprofen to treat the pain. Also, analgesic drops, if that is okay. It depends on the physician. And antibiotics. Now, antibiotics are going to be suggested by the American Academy of Pediatrics. They have guidelines on when a child should be given antibiotics and when it's best to just observe the condition. So when I looked at it today, I was reading through about it. The first recommendation is amoxicillin if there is no allergies. Okay, so that's our expectation. I would expect for NCLEX to ask you about amoxicillin before anything else. And we just have to know, of course, not to give amoxicillin if there is an allergy to amoxicillin. So it's time for NCLEX questions, y'all. Yeah, because you know this. And if you need to review it, check out page 64 of good old quick facts for NCLEX. And look, my quick facts for NCLEX is taking a beating. It's time for a new one because I just been taking it everywhere, shoving it in my bag. I think this is the one that went to Africa with me. So I got to get another one for sure. Okay. So NCLEX questions, you ready? Yes. Smash that like button because we're getting into it. I'm cooking y'all tonight. So I want you to tell me if these questions are difficult or if they're easy peasy. Here's the first one right here. It says this. Wait, I love this. Wait. Natalie. I like the spelling of that. Hi, Professor Regina. I'm a safe nurse. I passed my NCLEX on 12/5, December 5th. That is what I'm talking about. You get your nursing license. You demonstrate you have competency. Who's next? That is what I want. I want that license for you. I want that for our community. I just want our community to be up. Okay, I just want our community to be up. My son was diagnosed with otitis media on the 5th of December and was prescribed amoxicillin. So real-time verification. I love it. Thank you so much, Natalie. I love this testimony and I love the comments. So keep commenting And look, I asked who was next. I got some people to say, I'm next. I'm next. It's me. Vicky, I see you. I see you. This is a live video, so I am highlighting the goodness of the community that's going on. But here's the question. I see some people answering it already. Let me get to it. A child is diagnosed with acute otitis media. What is the priority nursing intervention? Number 1, administer prescribed antibiotics. 2, encourage the child to drink fluids. 3, administer the prescribed pain medication. Or 4, position the child upright. Stat. What do you say here? Safe nurse, there's only one answer that's the priority. Now, many answers could be right, but one is the priority. And that's where NCLEX is looking to find you. And that is number 1. We know that otitis media often involves a bacterial infection. So we need to do something for the cause of it. The symptoms will disappear when we treat that cause. All right, I'm rolling. Here's number 2. Was that easy or difficult? Because I saw some people picking 4. Okay. How about this? Which symptom is most concerning in a child with otitis media? Is it number 1, a sudden low-grade fever? 2, sudden pain relief? 3, sudden muscle weakness? Or 4, sudden eye pain? Woo! I'm cooking. I know this one is tough. I know this one is challenging, but that is why you show up here. That's why you show up here. So you can evaluate. Are you studying in the V2? Are you catching it? Or am I catching you in the distractors? Which one is it? I see a lot of 1s right now. I see a lot of 2s, some 3s, not too many 4s. Okay. Correct answer here is number 2. It's number 2. Somebody tell me why. What's the priority here? Look at these symptoms, and I'm making them big so you can see sudden. Everybody is having a sudden something, right? It's a sudden something, but what is the problem with sudden pain relief? There's some people that are asking why. I don't get it. I don't understand what it is, but it's this. Yes. When a patient, it's kind of like the appendix, when a patient has appendicitis and it's inflamed, and then they start to feel relieved, like, that feels so much better now. What's the problem? That's an emergency. That means the appendix has burst. It's the same with the eardrum. When the child is just like, no pain, mommy, no pain. No pain is terrible suddenly, all right? Because that could mean that the eardrum has ruptured. Yeah. That means it's gotten worse. Yes. All right, so I caught a couple people there because many people put sudden low-grade fever. But remember, for the NCLEX, we look for our answer in the question. So the question was concerning otitis media. So we needed to find something that was directly related to otitis media. Low-grade fever, not that. Sudden muscle weakness, not that. Sudden eye pain, not that. Okay, so that's why number 2 was it. Can you clarify for the answer for number 1, please? I thought an order had to be written first. Okay, so when you're doing next gen questions, what you need to realize is that if you don't read everything there, you will miss important information. Okay, because this says administer the what type of pain medication. So that order is there, okay? That order is there. So that's why it's number 1. Let me move on. Okay, let's go to question number 3. This is our final question, and then I'm going to transition into travel nursing. Okay, I'm gonna bring up a special guest to be with me on the broadcast because this is Winning Wednesday, and I like to switch it up. Here's question number 3. Okay, let's question number 3. Let's go on. A child with a history of recurrent otitis media presents with fever, irritability, and swelling behind the ear. The nurse notes now that the ear is pushed forward. The mother asks the nurse, can the child have water? What is the nurse's priority action? Number 1, notify the physician. Number 2, give the child some cold water. 3, administer the prescribed amoxicillin. Or 4, place the child on the unaffected side. This is a good one. No, for real, this is a good one. What do you guys say? Ooh. You guys make me so proud. I'm so happy. Correct answer was indeed number 1. It's number 1, notify the physician. I don't know why I said number 2. It's number 1 here, notify the physician. And the reason is because of the assessment findings. So the patient here has something that's new and significant, and that is swelling behind the ear, and the ear is pushed forward. So what condition is this when you have a like swelling behind the ear and the ear is pushed forward? Some people are like, I don't know what it is, but that's why I'm calling the doctor, because I have no idea. What does it mean the ear is pushed forward? What am I going to do with that? Yeah, you're absolutely going to call the doctor. But it's mastoiditis, right? Mastoiditis. And so it is absolutely a situation that the doctor is going to have to help you with. Okay. So great job. Great job. I thought I would be able to get you with administering the prescribed amoxicillin, but nobody fell for that. See, what happens is you get the hard ones right and the easy ones wrong. That's what we have to correct. Because everybody was just like, no, I'm calling a doctor. I know what to do. I'm going to call the doctor. So great job today. Great job today on Otitis Media. Again, I expected you to be familiar with this subject. I just wanted to see how you would do with prioritization questions and assessment questions, because those are, I believe, the most challenging for new nurses. And so you did pretty well. 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3. That's what I'm seeing. Can't complain. I can't complain. We studied it. All right. Testimonial time. Chris Wright. How about that? I passed the NCLEX with V2. Love V2. Thank you, Professor Regina. Mark, this was my 8th attempt. All things are possible with God. How about that? This is amazing. This is such an exceptional testimonial, because 8 times, how long of a span was that? How many years was that, Chris, if you don't mind me asking? Your instruction is exceptional. But okay, I accept it. I'm so happy to be a part of this journey. What did you find that you did differently this time? Are you a new Remar nurse? What was the story? I need to know it. Okay, because that is the testimonies of testimonies this week. For real, y'all. Okay, so as we are looking, wow, we have a lot of repeat test takers coming in. 11 weeks, I graduate in March. Woohoo! I just got V2 and I'm excited to start. Get in there. It's going to help you so much, especially if you do it during winter break. Oh, and don't forget, 7 Days of NCLEX is coming. The hottest holiday event for nursing students, 7 Days of NCLEX. If you've never listened, it starts December 26th. I got to put a plug in for 7 Days of NCLEX. You can sign up for it right now. It's remarnurse.com/7days/7days. And so I'm really getting juiced up for that. Please, we would like you to come and share. Yes, we would. The Remar nurses are calling you out. They're calling you out. All right. I'm going to transition now into our program, Chatty Go. I have 6 days to graduate BSN RN. Yes. Who else? 7 Days of NCLEX is free. It's free. It's going to be right here how you're watching it. Okay, everybody. So it's time. It's time to get into Travel Nurse Bootcamp. So what I'm allowing you to do right now, everybody, get out a sheet of paper, get out a pencil. You might want to take notes on this one. Because I did not have the ability to have freedom, to have flexibility, to have a higher income until I started travel nursing. And if you watch the social climate of nursing right now, you will understand that there is a shift. And what I want to do is give you the advantage in nursing. That's one of my goals for Remar, is to give you the advantage and to position you for success long term. Very few people are staying in one job in nursing for 20, 30 years. You just are not seeing that in the same way. The younger generations of nurses are taking their liberty to be marketable amongst a wide variety of healthcare systems. Okay, wide variety of healthcare systems. So when I'm looking for jobs, we have jobs for CNAs, we have jobs for LPNs, we have jobs for RNs. I want you. There's more. There's more. Okay. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm getting messages from the back, and I'll answer all the questions. That is why we're here today, to answer every single question that you have about it. But we are. Let me get the most. Let me get the most up-to-date information. I'm gonna bring in my co-host for this one. And y'all, when I tell you my co-host. I was going to say that. When I tell you my co-host is like amazingly handsome. He is so handsome. I can tell myself. Y'all, welcome Mark to the broadcast. Hi, if this is your first time, this is Mark Callion. He is the president of Remar Review. He is our strategic partner, our global partner leader. He has established so many amazing things for Remar nurses. And this is one of the newest endeavors that we have in order to grow this community and prosper the Remar nurses. So let me know, because I think we're setting a precedent here. I have never seen an NCLEX company help with entrance exams, nursing school, now NCLEX, and now we're trying to give the nurses exit exams, which
is also nursing school.
Yes. Yeah. And now we're trying to give nurses the best jobs possible. Okay.
Absolutely.
It's an amazing precedent.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
And it kind of goes back to just our philosophy as individuals or as a company, is that we have a holistic approach, to everything.
Yeah.
So it's not just, it's just not studying content and hoping you do well on the test.
Yeah.
We also want the Remar nurses to be a blessing to their work environment, to their homes, to their families, and to have an impact wherever they go.
For sure.
And also have the mindset that they're there for a purpose. And so anything that we can do to help you reach your purpose, to help take care of some of these smaller things, so that you can focus on what God has for you, that's what we want to do. And so we're really excited about this new partnership with Safe Nurse Now. And so that's what it's all about. It's just promoting opportunity where it's needed, so that you can be a holistic individual and have that wellness to your career.
Awesome. So let's get into it. Can we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's dive into the presentation. We might have to sit close.
Okay.
All right, so we both of you. Okay, so we are talking about, and we have a great community of nurses who are interested in travel nursing. Now, of course, this is something that I did after I got about 2.5 years experience working in cardiology. It was a progressive step down unit. I got into travel nursing. I was working in DC and I wanted to relocate back to Ohio. That's where I wanted to work. And so I could have, interviewed for a staff position I could have stayed and stuck with the local hospital like down the street. But I stumbled upon travel nursing, and I saw what they were paying travel nurses.
Okay.
And I saw how I made the calculation of how much or how little I would have to work to get the same thing. And I said, you know what? I'm going to step out on faith.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to step out on faith and try this, because you always hear like it's very complicated to get into travel nursing. You don't have benefits. You have to have so much experience. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to step out on a leap of faith and try it. And there's so many great things that happened since I did that.
Absolutely. And I think with anything that's significant, some of the hardest thing to do is just to get started.
Oh, that's so true.
It's just getting started. Like, what do I do? Where do I go? In fact, some people are blessed to say, hey, look, tell me who to talk to. Like, just tell me somebody that can just give me all the information.
Exactly.
And that's why we're here for the Travel Nurse Bootcamp. You mentioned earlier the jobs that we have available.
I said,
and so
a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. And so just in terms of position wise, we have through Safe Nurse Now positions for CNAs.
Okay.
We have
that's good.
LPN.
Okay.
Also have RN.
Okay.
You have US RN.
US RN, that's good.
Also, we also have availability for NPs.
NPs, yeah.
Nurse practitioners.
Okay.
Also, I think it's CRNAs.
CRNAs.
Is that
okay.
correct?
Yeah.
Also, allied health.
Okay, and even allied health.
Yeah.
So the things are growing so fast with this company, with this partnership, that I literally thought it was just LPNs, RNs, and CNAs. And I just learned about the CNAs literally today. So now Mark is saying allied health, NPs, CRNAs. And what I'm trying to say is that there are so many positions that are available for nurses, and hospitals are willing now to offer you so much to come, and they don't even care if you're going to be there long, or they don't even care if you're going to commit to them full time. They want you now. Like they want you now.
They want a safe nurse.
They want
right now.
I love the name of the company, because this is how we get down. So I have here, because I want to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. We're going to talk about why people are choosing travel nursing, considerations before you start, common questions that I'm seeing even right now. Okay, even right now, I'm going to answer some of the questions that I see, the benefits of working specifically with Safe Nurse Now, because I have worked with many travel companies, and depending on who I worked with, I had to really scrutinize my contract. Safe Nurse Now provides housing, they provide travel, they even have a partnership with us where they'll pay for your NCLEX, they'll help you if you need to get to the next level, like literally so many benefits with this company that I want you to talk to them first, to make sure that you're getting the position, and you're getting the contract, and you're getting all those things. But I've already screened them for you. So yes, that's it. All right, let me go into this. So the reason why there is a rise in travel nursing is because there is a growing demand for flexibility and skilled nursing. So if you get into staffing in general, you typically get stuck in one situation, in one place, and you become less diverse as a nurse. So travel nursing allows you to grow, be flexible. You also have a way higher earning potential and bonus opportunities when you travel. And it's actually quite interesting to me that hospitals will essentially treat the travelers better than they treat the staff nurses. And I'm really trying to say it as, as sincerely as possible, but you have nurses who have been there for 8 years, they make $29 an hour, but the traveler who's coming in, working the same unit with the same patients, is making $30 an hour, $40 an hour, $45 an hour, depending on your experience. If you're an RN, for me, from RN, I was making, and this was back then, I was making anywhere from $40 to $60 an hour. And it was literally, I was doing the exact same things as those staff nurses. So that's another reason why. All right. Professional growth, opportunity to explore new locations as well. Now, there are some considerations before you start. Do not get into travel nursing just thinking that you are going to just wake up one day and just decide to be a traveler. No, there are certain resources that you do have to have in place if you want to go out on a travel assignment. The very first resource, I think, is a great company, because a great company has great positions. They are working actively to find the best positions, because nobody wants you to be stuck in, a place or a situation that you hate and you signed a contract. So many nurses I've worked with, they sign contracts because they are not experienced in travel nursing, and they sign a contract, and then when they get there, they don't like it. And that's the worst thing that can happen. And that's one of the reasons why I'm like, nope, I need to be able to be there. I want to be able to see these jobs. I want anybody on a travel nurse assignment to be happy. All right. Desirability to work in flexible locations. So if you have experience in L&D, you should be able to deliver a baby if you are in a hospital, if you are in a birthing center, if you are in a rural hospital. Those same skills that you're utilizing every day in one location, do you have the confidence to go to a different location and do the same functions? So for me, I found that telemetry is telemetry. And especially in the United States, most of our hospitals are very well technology sound, are very well using electronic documentation. They're staffed appropriately. And so all of my travel jobs that I took, I was able to use my skills and apply them. All right. Willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. As a traveler, this is just my personality. I don't go to work to make friends. I go to work to make money. So that means that I can go into a situation where I know nobody, and I don't have to get into the politics of the unit. I didn't have to, go to after work. People were going to work after hour drinks and stuff like that. I never had to worry about that because I was the traveler. And so nobody asked me to go out for drinks. But even if they did, I wasn't going. But my whole point was I avoided so much drama because I was a traveler and literally not a staff nurse. And I would come in, put my work bag down, get my patient assignment, do my work, take my lunch, get my patients, go home, get paid, rinse, repeat. That was my life. And I loved it because, like I said, I wasn't going to work to make friends. It was so much, it was just so much freedom and flexibility in that. And I like that. I like that.
Yeah. So what I hear you saying is that you have to be able to have, a goal and know what your stated goal is.
Absolutely.
This is the focus.
Yep.
Not to go to the right, not to go to the left.
Absolutely.
Right. And so I think a part of that also, it's good to have a financial incentive. That you're going to make so much.
Yeah.
But also, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with the extra time that you get? What are you going to do?
Absolutely.
How is it going to help you in your household? I think just keeping that in focus really makes the time go by.
Yeah.
And allows you to be productive in that environment. And probably not even get burnt out so much where others are like, there's so much mess, there's so much drama.
Nope.
You're just like,
never.
Never picking away at it.
Yeah, because I knew I wanted to start Remar Review. And so travel nursing gave me the flexibility to be able to work on Remar. Because you guys know I would work for 2 months. I would take a 2-month contract and then I would take 2 months off. And that's when I was writing quick facts. And that's when I was blogging. And that's when I was, making the videos and things like that. It was because travel nursing allowed me to have that flexibility. There was no way I could have done it if I was working 5 days a week or 8 hours a week, or just had to and for me, what else it was? I can't stand asking somebody for time off. That was the big thing for me. It happened to me a lot when I was a staff nurse. I would request time off for Thanksgiving or Christmas. And I would always get told, no, you can't get it because so-and-so has 10 more years more than you. Yeah. And so that for me was enough to say, I need my freedom.
Yeah.
That's one thing I value. Give me freedom over money. And so that's one thing that helped me too. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So willingness to step out of your comfort zone and commitment to short-term assignments. And so you can go to safenursenow.com to see, to see if you are able to find jobs, sign up, give us your information, and we'll make sure. So if you don't have a goal, this was my little exercise that I wanted to do. I want every Remar nurse to at least make $100,000 a year. Okay. At least make $100,000 per year. So I want you to think about it in the sense of how much do you have to work to achieve your financial goals as a nurse? Because I'll tell you this, if you don't have a dream for yourself, you will end up living somebody else's dream. So if you don't have like a goal, just like what you were talking about, Mark, if you don't have a goal for what you want your nursing career to be or how much you want to make, then you will just take whatever is handed to you. And that staff nurse position is going to work you to the bone to get the most out of you. All right. So you want to make sure that everything that you're doing is to get the most benefit out of who you are trying to become as well. So this is my goal for you. Just start here. Okay. This is it right here. So how much do you want to make? $100,000 a year. Let's just start at that. All right. So if you're making $100,000 per year, you need to think about how much you're going to make per month that you need to make to clear that, and how much you need to make per week in order to clear that. All right. So if we're making $100,000 a year, does anybody know how much a month we will need to clear in order to get to that $100,000 per year? Does anybody know the calculations for that?
Roughly, just
okay.
If you know it exactly.
If you know it exactly, roughly, what do we need to divide it by? We got to divide it by 12. Okay. So if we're dividing $100,000 a year by 12, just 12 months in a year, we need to be making $8,333, okay, per month. Now, how much per week do we need to be clearing? We need to be clearing about, somebody said, we need to be clearing about $2,083 per week. Now, is that possible to do? Are we able to do that? Yes, we are, but we have to think about how much we're going to be making on our shifts. Okay. So my traveler rate, I like to have it around $45 per hour. Okay. That's like, for me, it's like a happy medium. If it's more, it's more. Now, it will certainly be more if you're an RN and you have experience in some specialty. I guarantee you it will be more. Because one of the things that I said, Safe Nurse Now, and Mark said too, is that we want to pay the nurses the highest hourly rate possible. So that's always our intention, that the nurses get their highest hourly rate. So I'm just saying 45, okay? 45. So if you get 45 per hour for a 12-hour shift, what is your daily rate going to be? How much are you going to be making per day? Okay. We're looking at $540 per shift. Okay. So think about our weekly goal, okay, of $2,083. And if we're making $540 per shift, how many shifts do we need to work per week? About four. If we can work 4 shifts per week, okay, 4 shifts per week, we are able, and some of us can even work less than that to get the money, especially if we're making more of an hourly rate, but yeah, like 3 to 4 shifts per week. Okay. And that's for us to make 100,000. That's for us to make 100,000. So I know some of you out there could even do more per week and then end up taking these long breaks off. And that's at an hourly rate of $45 an hour. Some of you will be making more than that. So what I'm just trying to show you is that if you're able to take on one of these positions and have that vision and have that goal in your mind, it will be a small step in front of the other until you get there. Okay. And most nurses do work 12-hour shifts. I would suggest working 12-hour shifts because to me, you are less tired when you just have to work 3 or 4 days a week as opposed to 5. Now, some people only like to do 8-hour shifts and they end up working 5 days a week. As a nurse, that's a lot. That's a lot of standing on your feet. That's a lot of strain on your back. And I'm a 12-hour shift person. So there may be some jobs that offer you a 5-day work week, but I think most of our positions are going to be 12-hour shifts. Okay. So thinking about that, most of y'all are working more than 4 shifts per week now, doing something else that you're not getting paid even as much money for. So it's not definitely about your ability to do it. It's about access to a great job. And of course, having that experience. Okay. So let's talk about this experience requirements because that's a real thing as a traveler. You're absolutely going to need to have experience if you think you're going into a specialty area. Our jobs are not going to accept you if you are not able to do the function that is called at the minimum. And there are some positions that will give you orientation. Now, a lot of people are saying, do you have to have experience? We may have some new nurse jobs that are available. And that means if they're a new nurse job, that means they come with orientation to that unit. So when I was a new nurse, I took a position in a hospital as a new nurse, right? No experience. I moved out of my state of Ohio and I moved to Washington, D.C. for a new grad position. Now, the truth about new grad positions, did I get the most money? Absolutely not, because I had no experience. But did I receive additional training and support and have a orientation process? Yes. And I think that's something that every nurse should be looking for. And that's a question that every nurse should ask, whether you have experience or not. What is the orientation like? Every position, you're expected to get an orientation. That's it. No matter if you've been working for 7 years or 4 years or 6 months, you get an orientation because you're coming onto a new unit. You have new documentation. You have new equipment. Maybe a new Pyxis that you're pulling medications from. You need to know the codes to the doors and all those things. So an orientation is always expected, okay? And even specialty nurses. So I have here, most agencies will require you to have at least 1 year experience, okay? I say 1 to 2 for you to be comfortable. Unless it's specifically a new grad experience or a job, or you're working as a CNA, okay? You're working as a CNA and you're taking one of the CNA jobs, okay? Then your experience will be based off of whatever you've done in the past, or if you learned something in school. I think as a CNA, you should be able to travel, okay? So just for right now, with what I'm saying, how many people are interested in learning more and going to Safe Nurse Now? Because everybody that's interested in it, what we want to do is have a separate webinar where you're able to ask questions directly and speak to one of our amazing partners about specific jobs. Okay. So what should they do, Mark? Should they go to, because a lot of people are saying, yeah, I want to know, I'm interested.
Yeah. So everybody who signs up for safenursenow.com.
Yeah.
And when I say sign up, it simply means to submit your name to be able to receive information about the jobs.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So when you're signing up, it's not committing to a contract or anything like that. It's simply saying, I want to be able to receive information. I want to be able to receive jobs from Safe Nurse Now. Mm-hmm. And so anybody that signs up today, we're going to do an informational session.
Okay.
And actually, let's do it as soon as possible.
Okay. So what do you have in mind?
I have in mind tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow night?
Tomorrow evening. sent a message to our partners. They said that they would be available. So if anybody has specific questions,
we can
do a meeting where you can have some face-to-face with Safe Nurse Now, with their team. We can be on there with them.
Yeah, okay, I'll be on.
Questions to say, hey, is there a position in Texas available? Is there something in Florida? Is there something in New York? I live over here. Can I take a position? Or I'm a CNA. Is there anything that you can do?
Okay.
And to have that direct dialogue.
Oh, that would be great.
And so whoever signs up, go to safenursenow.com.
Okay. Let me put it up on the screen.
Safenursenow.com. Go there tonight. Sign up, and you'll receive an email invitation for that for that
webinar tomorrow.
That inside Remar Nurse group meeting.
Oh, okay.
That they'll be able to have an invite to and ask specific questions.
Perfect. Because I see the questions that I'm getting really quickly. Do they offer benefits? Yes. Do they offer traveling? Yes. Do we have jobs in Maryland? Yes. North Carolina, Florida, yes, there's jobs. How much for a CNA travel license, 18 years experience, please? And so, all right. And so, of course, I wish I had the number oh yeah, it's this, and this, but I don't. They have the actual jobs, and they will actually be able to tell you, okay, this job is paying this much for a traveler, and this is where they need you, and this is where you want to do. I'm interested. I want to receive some more information. Yes. Okay. So what we're doing right now is you go to safenursenow.com, and you're going to give us your information so that we can have it and invite you to the webinar that's taking place tomorrow.
So I believe there's going to be a tab that says apply now.
Okay.
So you just apply now to add your information.
Okay.
And you'll receive that invite for that webinar and be able to receive more information about the jobs that are available. Now, I think there are two buttons that can be pressed.
Okay.
One is for U.S. positions.
Okay.
And then also, if you are a nurse outside of the U.S., you want to go ahead and hit that international nurse tab as well.
We're welcoming international nurses. Yes, that was one of our goals as well, to be able to help international nurses come on over. And I made some promises about being able to support them.
Absolutely. So make sure that you're either in the U.S. or that you're outside of the U.S. so that we can have the right information and send that special invite to you.
Now, is it a way, maybe, I just saw a comment that somebody said, I'm in the UK, I'm having a hard time, or I don't know. Is there another way? Can they right,
so if they go to safenursenow.com, they'll see the two options.
Okay.
So one will say apply now. Those are going to be the U.S. domestic.
Okay.
And then the other one's going to say international or foreign nurse. You click that tab, and then you'll be able to fill out the information. Yep. Okay. So safenursenow.com. Safenursenow.com.
Okay. Now, what if somebody signed up previously? Do they need to sign up again? Because I know we've been talking about Safe Nurse Now for a little bit. Will everybody that signed up before also get invited, or should they sign up again for tonight? Are you going to do anything?
So, if you're not sure that you signed up, I would just go ahead and do it again. Now, if you go to safenursenow.com, it's kind of like NCLEX, right? If you go in, you try to register again, it'll say that this test has already been scheduled or something like that.
Okay.
So if you try to register again and it says your username is already in the system, then you're good.
Okay.
So just to be safe, everybody go to safenursenow.com and go ahead and click the button to apply. You'll either do it as a domestic nurse here in the U.S. or as an international nurse, and we'll be able to get that information for you.
Okay, so it says I'm a U.S. RN and a Canadian RN. I signed up under international. Do I have to sign up in U.S. again? So
the difference between the two is largely just based off of the just your zip code, right? And so we need to enter in the information in terms of your country information. So if you're able to do so, if you have a U.S. address, I would do the U.S. side.
Okay.
If you don't have a U.S. address, I would do the international. But also, I think they're working on having Canada and other countries added, more to the broader scale. But that's a really great question.
Yeah. So if you're in the U.S., then that's great. Then you're going to do the U.S. If you're out of the U.S., then you're going to do out of the U.S. And we do help people come over to the U.S.
Okay. So Safe Nurse Now helps with visa services. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So that's something that really proud of as well. And that was like something that we had to have. We absolutely had to have. I'm currently in Houston, Texas. Okay. International nurse. I know we have jobs in Texas. International nurse, can I apply for it? Yes. Absolutely. If you have your license and you're in Texas, come on over because we have jobs. So tomorrow, what I'm going to ask them to do is have jobs and have the rates for those jobs so that you guys will know. Because you're looking for numbers. All right. So any other questions that you have? You must have passed NCLEX before applying, right? Well, it depends on what you're applying to. Mm-hmm. All right. Because if you're applying to an LPN job or an RN job, you definitely want to make sure you have secured those licenses because you can't interview for a position that you're not qualified for. Now, if you can do the CNA work, that's different. Okay.
Okay. So if somebody is a CNA,
yeah.
Like one of the nurses said that, been a CNA for 18 years.
Yeah.
And maybe they also went to school for LPN or for RN and they just haven't passed NCLEX yet.
Oh, that's different.
So then they can take a position as a CNA, right? And then and there's also a special offer that's available through the partnership.
Okay.
It's that through the Safe Nurse Now partnership, anybody that is, let's say they're a CNA, they're able to take a job. Mm-hmm. But they've gone to school for LPN, for RN, and they just need to pass the NCLEX.
Yeah.
Safe Nurse Now, through the partnership with Remar, is going to take on that challenge of helping them pass the NCLEX by providing the study resources as well as their NCLEX registration.
So wait, so if you take a job with Safe Nurse Now, they'll pay for your NCLEX and your NCLEX training, or?
Yes, you take a job through Safe Nurse Now.
Okay.
They'll cover your NCLEX prep, reviewing with Professor Regina.
That's a good
as well as your NCLEX registration.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about this? What if we ask them if somebody takes a job with if a Remar nurse takes a job with Safe Nurse Now, can Safe Nurse Now pay for their NCLEX just period? Is that possible?
That's what it is.
I mean, but like what I'm saying is that okay. No, but you just what I'm saying, though. I'm saying that, like, if somebody takes a job with Safe Nurse Now, can they say, well, I took NCLEX 2 years ago. Can y'all pay for that?
Oh,
is that too much? I'm just saying, like, you got to ask for the bonuses.
Listen, we can. I think that's a possibility.
Is that a possibility? I don't know. Like, it should be like, well, I did just kind of pay for NCLEX.
Well, if they're a Remar nurse, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. If they're a Remar nurse and they've been in the system, and I'm like, okay, this is a nurse that studied with us.
I think that's a possibility. We can ask, right?
Yeah, we can always ask.
You have not because you ask not.
That's what I'm talking about. There was a question about if you're an international nurse, you're in the US and you're just waiting on your ATT, meaning that you are in a position to pass NCLEX. You just have to wait for the paperwork. Can you still apply for a job, or should you be in the pipeline at least?
I think it's good to apply with
Safe Nurse Now. At least just have your information.
Yeah.
Because you're an international nurse.
So you have to apply with Safe Nurse Now.
Yeah.
And then also you have to apply for a position that Safe Nurse Now offers, right?
Anyways.
So you want to be in the mix. You
yeah.
absolutely want to be in the mix.
Okay. It's at the bottom of the screen. Somebody saying, what's the thing here?
Okay. The website.
The website.
Is safenursenow.com.
I'm trying to get y'all right for Christmas. I'm trying to get y'all right for every holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Well, like for the whole year.
Right, period.
Yeah, just to get you right, period. Yeah, whatever it is. All right. Can Safe Nurse Now sponsor international nurses who have already gotten ATT? Yes, but you really need to be focusing on passing that NCLEX.
Yes.
You gotta get that NCLEX passed.
Absolutely.
Okay, do I need to fill out the sections down the side? The sections down the side of the form. You need to give them your information. So
there is some information in terms of course, your name, your address, your phone number, email, also what type of nurse that you are, and what type of field that you would like to work in as well. But just finish it until it says completed.
That's right. In I'll work in emergency department. Is that a position for traveling? Yes. ER? Absolutely. ER. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you showed some ER positions available.
Yeah, we already have ER positions. Okay, so if you've done that, everything is cool. You will be getting a notice about a webinar tomorrow that we will be on. Mm-hmm. How many years of experience do you consider before starting? So I think you should at least have, if you're an RN, you should at least have 1 or 2 years experience. Okay. And I will say that you don't even have to guess, because certain jobs will tell you.
We had the conversation about that.
Okay.
In terms of, what do you do if you are a new nurse, you have no experience,
okay,
or just finished, etc.
Yeah.
And so there are some,
sorry about that.
No worries. So there are some nuances just to be aware of, right?
Okay.
So let's say somebody has been an LPN for a number of years,
yeah,
and they just got their RN.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that situation, an employer might overlook or might credit that LPN experience to the RN.
Yeah, sure, for
right?
sure. Yeah.
So that's a possibility. Also, as you said, that there are new nurse positions.
Yes.
Facilities, hospitals, they hire new nurses.
Sure, everybody hires new nurses.
Like, you have to have your first job somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So in those types of cases, what the possibilities are finding a job that is local to that nurse, mm-hmm. that they can work as a new nurse. Yeah. And so it doesn't have the same burden as a
going out into travel nursing,
but they're still inside of that pipeline where they're able to receive the benefits and things of that nature. And so I think the best thing to do is just to be able to apply and be able to speak directly to, what the possibilities are.
That's true. Because right now what you're trying to do is gather information, and you're exploring this idea and if it's right for you. And so the best way that you can do that is to have the information. What I want to put you in contact with is some people that I trust to help you to make the best decision, because our job is making sure that we connect you to where you want to be, right? We connect you to the opportunities that you want to have. So there's many different types of travelers. There may be somebody that says, hey, I'm in Maryland. I don't want to leave Maryland, but I will take positions in Maryland because I want to be close to my kids, or I want to, be able to just be nearby. And there's some people that are like, okay, well, I'm in Maryland, but I'm okay with going to Texas for 2 months. Mm-hmm. That's okay with me. So we want to make sure that we put you in front of the right opportunity that you want to take. The right opportunity that you want to take. Are there remote jobs? Yes. But from what I understand, remote jobs are hard to come by because internally hospitals can usually fill remote jobs with their own workers. Mm-hmm. Remote jobs are hot jobs. So if a hospital can use their own staff to do a remote job, that's what they're going to do. Now, I know we did have some remote jobs, but I think they pretty much got filled up right away. So when we give REMAR nurses the opportunity, I'm also telling our partners, give REMAR nurses the preference to the best jobs. Mm-hmm. So that is one of the reasons why we're saying, hey, sign up. Come talk to these people, because if you're a REMAR nurse, you're going to get certain benefits that other nurses are not going to get. So let's get that NCLEX paid for.
Absolutely. I just want to go back to the new nurse position and just emphasize one point is that in terms of finding that position for you, you don't want to take a position that you aren't able to be a safe nurse at.
Oh, for sure.
Right. Yeah. So you never want to put your license into jeopardy or anything to that nature. But it's good to know what the possibilities are, what can be done to suit your situation as a new nurse.
Absolutely. And I hope nobody's on here like that will be willing to do that. I feel like everybody here that typically is working with mm-hmm. me, they understand the importance of being a safe nurse. We're not doing all of this to lose our license. Like, we're not doing all of this work to lose our license. We are doing it actually to keep the license.
Absolutely.
We just want to get paid for the work that we're doing. Or I want them to get paid for the work that they're doing.
Yeah. And you guys are working hard, and you deserve to have good positions, and so that your license is working for you. And
the thing about a short-term contract, and this is what I loved, is that I knew that if I took a position somewhere and I didn't love it, I only had to be there. Literally, I only had to be there for 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. And I was working 3 days a week. And I remember even when we first started dating, I took that job in Minnesota.
I do.
And I was working night shift. And I missed Mark so much because Mark was in Ohio I was counting down the weeks till that job was over. And he was staying up with me all of night shift, talking to me on the phone. And after, in between patients, I would be texting Mark and talking to him. That was when we knew it was just time for us to get married, because it was just so hard for me to do travel nursing. But I want to challenge people to do one assignment, because I feel like there is such a benefit of just getting started and having that in your profile. Like just having that in your profile. Because once I said that I was a traveler, because I came back home and I still did travel nursing here in Ohio. Locally. Yeah, I was a local traveler.
Yeah.
But once I had said, yes, I have travel nurse experience, it was up. It was up from there. Like they already knew what I was expecting in terms of my compensation. Absolutely. And it wasn't what everybody else was getting. So that was it.
Absolutely. So we're talking about taking your first shift as a travel nurse. This is the Travel Nurse Bootcamp, and you're just sharing your experience as a travel nurse.
Absolutely. And I think during this, we'll do more of these boot camps, because there's so many myths about travel nursing that I really want to dispel. That only certain specialties or disciplines can get into travel nursing, that travel nurses get the worst patients. And I think, the perception that you have will make a difference in your experience. So even this idea, like travel nurses get the worst patients.
Okay.
Travel nurses can get the worst patients. But I think your contract and the contract that you agree to helps or hurts you. Another thing I think is that you may get the most difficult patients, so you might have to work hard, but that bank account is working hard too, because it's growing. Like, so the most difficult patients, the most difficult units make the most money. And I think that's with anything. Like if you're working in the ICU as a staff nurse or ICU as a traveler, you want to be there as a traveler, because that is where you're going to be making the compensation.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the Remar nurses are the best trained nurses on the planet.
Safest trained nurses.
Safest trained nurses on the planet. All right?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So it's not like, oh no, we're not, going to take a challenging assignment like that. Somebody needs help.
For sure.
Somebody needs help.
Hey, we got a local traveler, and we got a local traveler. Here's a good question. Is Minnesota expensive to live in? Let me tell you about this. I would not know.
That's right.
I have no idea how expensive it is to live in Minnesota, because my travel agency was paying all of my bills. They were paying my housing. They were paying my meals and per diem. I didn't pay for anything. I literally just worked and collect a paycheck, and I could do what I wanted to do with that paycheck. I think I bought my mom a car. That was the first time I bought my mom a car.
With the paycheck?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I was making like $2,000. I was making like $2,000 a week. Wow. And I really didn't have anything to spend it on, because I didn't have any kids. I wasn't married.
Great.
I just didn't have it.
I love it. Amazing.
So
somebody's mom needs a car.
Somebody's mama needs a car.
Somebody's mama needs a car. Go to Safe Nurse Now, guys. SafeNurseNow.com. Sign up today. Do the webinar.
Yeah,
get the one-on-one information.
Start planning.
So that way you can make your plans for the time to come.
Amazing. So we're trying to answer all of your questions about this travel experience. Can I stay home and travel? Yes. Oh, that's another opportunity, staying local while traveling. So if you're in an area where you have a job, where we have a job and you take it, you can be assigned as a local traveler within your state. Allows you to earn travel benefits while staying close to your family. Okay. So Safe Nurse Now does have those local opportunities as well. How do I know if traveling is right for me? How about this? Let's just do a quick self-assessment for travel nursing. Is it right for you? And I think this is a great place to start. Just asking yourself these questions. Are you seeking flexibility and new experiences? If you're the type of person that doesn't like change and you are, very timid, not outgoing, then you may need to stay in one place until you get your comfort level or, your feet under you. But if you're somebody who is pretty much wanting something new able to adapt to change. You get bored quickly. You're okay with traveling for a short time as long as you know when you're coming back. Okay? Travel nursing might be right for you. What about this? Do you enjoy meeting new people and learning new skills? Oh, for me as a traveler, I found that because I was a traveler, and not that this is something I'm trying to say, but I found that I was not asked to do as much as the staff nurse. And that's just the truth of it. Like when it came time to being charged, when it came time to staying later, when it came time to working more, they did not ask me, the traveler. Do you want to know why?
Talk to me.
Because I was already making $30 more than everybody else. So do they want the traveler staying overtime to clock that overtime? Absolutely not.
Makes sense.
They didn't. So I got to learn all of my great skills while actually having less pressure than the staff nurses.
Got it.
Like literally. And then are you, motivated by financial and professional, rewards? I knew for me that I needed to have certain things if I wanted to start Remar Review. I needed to be able to get my mom that car. I wanted to be able to stay home with my kids. Remember I told you that? Like even as a young person, I needed to be able to make a certain amount of money to make those goals happen for me.
Yeah.
So that was what I stayed focused on.
Absolutely. And I think what you're saying is that there's a season. Like you can have goals for a season. Like right now, a lot of you are in the season of passing NCLEX.
Yes.
You're in the season of getting your license.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But that season is going to come to an end.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to get your license. That season is going to close.
Absolutely.
And a new season is going to begin. And so what we're doing is making sure that there's opportunities to walk into that new season to gain that experience at different levels, different facilities as well. And so focusing on that goals and recognizing what time you're in, what season that you're in, really helps you keep the momentum and the spice of life.
I definitely, as I look at these jobs and just post, even though I'm out of the season of traveling, I would definitely get back into it.
I think you're out of the season of travel nursing, like bedside.
Oh,
but
man.
You're definitely in a season of traveling.
That's so true. But
you went to Kenya twice.
I know, but I'm looking at those jobs and
you're getting the itch.
Yes, I do. I love that. I love that.
Does your mama have a new car?
My mom has a new car already.
Okay. Does your dad have something?
My dad a car too.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else need one?
I don't know.
Maybe when Salome,
maybe when our kids, but still I can do it for more. Like I really just love that. I love that I know when I'm going and when I'm leaving. I just love that part.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's like no strings attached. And that's the type of relationship I like with my jobs.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So lots of things. How can I apply? I need local travel. Super easy. Okay. So all you have to do is go to safenursenow.com and just give that basic experience. If you're in the US, click on that US tab. If you're an international nurse, and it doesn't matter what the process is, I think we want to more so just be able to speak to you to kind of figure out where you are. Because I know you might have different situations. Maybe you have your ATT or you don't have it, or maybe you have your license and you're still there. So the best thing for us to do is to put you with one of our partners so that they can literally look at you, tell you, okay, you're in Houston, Texas. We have a job in Houston. We have a job in Abilene. We have a job in Dallas. I don't know, but they will be able to tell you exactly where it is. And of course, how much they're paying. Okay.
Absolutely. You'll find out what's best for your situation.
Yeah.
And then also
that's the easiest thing to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I got text messages from my recruiters, and I think I got phone calls from them. So when you have a recruiter, you will get used to speaking to them and talking to them and asking questions to them. And I think that's one of the best relationships that you will develop professionally when you get into travel nursing, is just being able to talk to somebody and let them know your preferences, because based on your preferences is where you will end up working. So be very, very, very confident going into this webinar tomorrow. And we'll tell them what time it is and all that stuff. I want to be on it too.
I believe we're shooting for 8:00.
Okay, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We can do it. All right. Anything else? Do you have any? What else? I don't know why my nose is itching today. Do you have to get your license for LPN or RN, switch to state you're going to work in? So you do have to have a license if you want to work in a different state, but we'll help you take care of all of that. It's a simple application process simple. Okay. So when I was in Ohio, I had to go to Minnesota, get a Minnesota license, had to get a California license, depending on where I wanted to travel. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm on the site now.
Are you on the site now?
There's two options here.
Okay.
So you can see that. One says US apply.
And you just went to Safe Nurse Now?
SafeNurseNow.com.
Okay.
One says US apply. The other one says global apply. All right. US apply and global apply. Mm-hmm. If you're outside of the United States, use the second one. If you're in the US, you use the US apply.
Okay. Does Safe Nurse Now hire new nurses? So what we wanted you to do is actually get in front of one of our partners so they can really evaluate what experience you have, where you're coming from. Are you RN? Are you LPN? Because you may fit in one of our positions, maybe for new grads, if you don't have any experience. Mm-hmm. Depends on your location, where you want to stay, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Do you have to transfer your license from one state to another? You do. You have to transfer your license from one state to another, but it is a simple process. It's nothing like having to take NCLEX again. Mm-hmm. So don't let that be a barrier. Like the small barriers that are in front of you.
Yeah.
Don't let that be a barrier.
It's a service that they help you, that they actually do for you or do with you as well. So it's no worries.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I get a compact license, does that secure me to travel, or do I still need to obtain? So it depends on where if your compact license is for a multi-state license, if it serves one of the states mm-hmm. that the job is in, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to go somewhere like, I don't know, Hawaii or somewhere like that where you don't have a license, you will have to just switch there. Okay. No problem. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you so much. All right. Oh, that's so awesome to hear. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations.
Yeah. Gladys has a question here as a tech.
Okay.
So it says, I'm a little confused. Mm-hmm. So if we are pending at our ATT to sit for NCLEX, can we still apply? I have 6 years as an oncology pharmacy tech, and I've been a tech since 2009. What should I do?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that she would be able to apply as for the position that she has currently.
Yeah, definitely. You're pending to sit for your ATT, but she's maybe wondering like, well, if I'm about to take my ATT and get my NCLEX, can I still apply for a Safe Nurse Now job? I think you would still have to come in as a new grad. If you are coming in with no RN experience or LPN experience, but we do have say we had allied med jobs. So we might have an allied med job that you can even get started working on as you wait.
And so I think also with the special partnership, let's say you're able to take a tech position or allied med and you're waiting for your ATT, preparing for NCLEX.
Yeah.
Then REMAR is through Safe Nurse Now is actually able to cover your NCLEX prep once you take a position with Safe Nurse Now.
For sure.
And also covering the cost for your NCLEX once you take a position. So I would definitely apply.
Just apply to be sure. So Nurse Okafor is a nurse that has 30 years experience international, considering a new nurse after not working for 9 years. No, you're not a new nurse. You have 30 years experience. Just like me, if I go back into the bedside, I'm not a new nurse. I know how to handle a patient assignment. I know how to pass meds intelligently. I know the document. I've had experience in codes. You're not a new nurse, okay? You are a nurse that has been involved in other areas that are not bedside. So you would just be a returning to bedside nurse. Very different. Okay. Any jobs in VA? I think so, but for us, for sure, we want to make sure that we have you in front of our partners so they can know.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think it's time for us that we've done it.
Okay.
So I think our goal tonight was to get you in the right position for more information to these great questions, because they're really good. And I wish that I could just have a list and say, yes, Nicole, we have this for you. But the goal for tonight is to get you to come back to the webinar tomorrow. We'll actually have our partners on tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll actually have our partners on tomorrow, so you can turn these questions on to them, and I get to sit back and watch. And I like that. I like that for tomorrow.
And we have a little bit more information to give.
Okay.
About the partnership and the benefits. I see there's a few more slides.
Oh, okay.
But we can do it for the webinar.
We'll do it for webinar. Okay.
Do it for the webinar.
No problem then. So I would love to see you back tomorrow. And the webinar it's going to be a private webinar. Is that what we're going to do?
That's
okay.
Correct.
So it's very important because it won't be on YouTube and it won't be on
Facebook.
It won't be on this platform. So if you go to safenursenow.com and you sign up, and I know it may be like, oh, I got to put some stuff in. Put some stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
Put some stuff in so that we can give you the link to the webinar and you can come and join us inside of that meeting.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because we will be able to answer all these great questions. Okay.
For nurses in the US
nurses
in Canada,
if you're not sure where you are, if you're not sure where you're supposed to be, just come to the webinar and then we can get it all straightened out. And I know some of your names, so I will be looking for you. Thank you so much, guys, for joining Winning Wednesday. It was a great session. We talked about Otitis Media, but also we got into Safe Nurse Now. And so we will see you on tomorrow. 8 p.m. Eastern time is what we're going for, but we will send you out the link, okay? Send you out the link. So if you sign up, you will get the webinar link. It won't be on Facebook. It will not be on YouTube. It will be a private link that we will send directly to you so that you can hop on and join me there. So I will see you there. Good evening. Bye-bye.